right now we're going through our engagement season, kind of like a module. And websites are a huge part of that, converting those leads to potential clients. So I have asked Chantel from JOA Creative Lab, who specializes in Wix, to join us and to kind of give us some information about Wix, how we can use Wix, and kind of see all her lovely designs as well. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit?
Sure thing. So, hi everyone. I am Chantal Panton, and I am a brand marketer. I help people, new entrepreneurs, or people who are passionate about business, to attract their target audience by providing branding services, and also position them and convert them into customers by providing marketing services. And so that's how the brand marketing term came into play, because customers, and sometimes you can try to have a marketing plan but not convert them into customers because of your brand, your poor branding. And so brand marketing together, that helps my clients see better results. And so I absolutely love what I do. I absolutely love working with people changers and who are trying to make an impact in their industry. And so it's a little bit of me.
So why don't you share with us what a high converting web page looks like, is, and all that wonderful, great stuff.
Sure thing. And so a high converting website is not necessarily a pretty website. Basically, you want the focus of your website to really appeal to your target audience. And so everything that you place on the homepage of your website or on your webpage should really speak to your target audience. And so some of the things that you can do to make your website more high converting is having quality pictures. People eat with their eyes first. And so you want people, there's a statement that says that you literally have 8 on your site. And so having high resolution images on there that speaks to your target audience can help those visitors to stay around a bit longer. Secondly, you do want to have a strong, what does that even look like, right? And so like eliminating what we do, our why, and actually speaking about that you're able to provide them with, and help them to make a decision more quickly in their mind that, okay, business understands me. Let me dig a little bit deeper into what they have to offer. And so maximizing those headlines on your homepage specifically, because that's literally, if you can capture them on your homepage, they're able to browse a little bit more. You want to capitalize on having effective headlines. You want it to be easy to navigate, so if your website is not like intuitive and it's hard for people to figure out what to do next, you can literally lose your visitors quickly, if you make it difficult for them to find the important information that they're trying to find. So I'm not sure you really wanted to find a solution, but it was so hard to find that information on a website. And what do you usually do?
Yeah.
You leave, right? You also want to have strong call to actions. Like, you don't want it to be more. You want to capitalize on that more. You want to say, okay, download this free ebook. You want to be specific. And so using your call to actions, make sure that it is specific. You higher click-through rate, which means people will stay longer on your site and see what else you have to offer.
Well, it kind of rolls into my other question about SEO. Does Wix offer that organic traffic to, I guess, just kind of finding your site to begin with?
Every platform offers the ability for you to be search engine friendly, right? Wix specifically have a tool called SEO Wizard that helps find the places that you need to put keywords on, right? And so I don't think it's literally has anything really to do with the tool, but more on how well you know your target audience. That says don't write for SEO, but write for your target audience. So Wix does help you
said
to
that there's
make
a
it.
wizard?
Yeah, it's called SEO Wizard. So it tells you where to add those keywords and phrases on your site so that Google can rank you on the first page of Google.
Share a little bit about your templates and how they convert a little bit better.
I can show you all a few different layouts. So we can look at bubblegum, and I could like walk you through the thought behind it. And so, as I shared earlier, all of the website templates that I design is built from like having a nice banner that really speaks to your target audience would be great. And of course, capitalizing on these headlines that I spoke of earlier, and then having a call to action, like letting them know immediately what action you would like them to take next. So because you have 8 seconds to convince someone to take action, capturing their email is a good idea. So introducing that earlier on will be great. You can do it as a pop-up, or you can have it. I always like to do a quick intro because one of the second most visited page on a website is the About page. And so really building a trust factor right here by introducing who you are or what it is that your business does is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
A bit more white space. I do add a blog, more spaces for you to have your offer. You don't want to have an offer on your homepage, and then Instagram feeds right there. And so on your homepage, you don't really want it to be, or your website period, you don't really want it to be too cluttered or things. You do. And so that's bubblegum. And pretty much the other templates that I have on there have the same feel. It's mostly for different genres of business. If you're in the service, I do have cardamom. If you are a coach, or if you are just a blogger, basically they all have that same modern white space feel, marketing perspective, really, to make sure that your website is high converting.
Do you have a guide to go with those, or videos, or?
Yeah, so I know learning a new platform can be a bit scary for some. So I do include a how-to video. And love is, as you said, it's very intuitive. Like literally every element in Wix, you're able to drag and drop it on like you can edit it live. So I usually recommend. So I do create custom designs for my clients as well, but most times recommend user-friendly it is for the client, And to me, that's important because, of course, you're not going to have the same website forever. As you grow, as your business grows and evolve, you would I think it will be good for you to know how to edit to your website yourself, and for those new entrepreneurs to do that.
Do you have any pointers talking about your, writing the copy for your About page that will appeal to your ideal client?
Yeah, I do. And so, the reason why most people visit an About page is to build a trust factor, see if it gets them, and things like that. And so that's where your story comes into play. I recommend on your About page, of course, humanizing yourself a bit. So you don't want to speak in third person, but speak as if you're speaking to your target audience, and then also share it too. And so I think adding those elements on your about page will be great. Humanizing your brand, like showing your likes, your dislikes, what you enjoy doing. Also, this is a great place for you to show your accomplishments. Adding that to your about page will be great to really amp up the trust factor more quickly. Because as I said, the reason why a person visits your about of get to know you better. Why? Because they want to trust you before they can partake in your business.
With Wix, I know there's a contact form, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to your email.
Yes,
you can set that up. Is there anything specific you should have in that contact form?
So for your contact form, of course, I like to eliminate as much, but you also don't want to have too much, too lengthy of a long form. And so you can have a drop down displaying the specific services that you offer. I like to ask where they got my information from. So was it on social media and things like that? Only if you it for your marketing services. Mm-hmm. Of course, a detailed message. So the idea of the contact form is to collect the information that you need while limiting too much back and forth. That looks like for you based on what is repeated in your email, and then add it to the contact form to eliminate those extra steps.
Can you put in different platforms? Does it integrate well with that? For example, a lot of wedding planners use Honeybook and Aisle Planner. Can you set that up? I think you probably could, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, you can. That's one of the features of Wix that I love. It allows you to integrate with. Currently, I have Honeybook embedded, so it doesn't interrupt my workflow. It actually helps. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's one of the pros.
Are there specific questions we should be asking ourselves when thinking of our ideal clients? I know I have a little client avatar freebie on my site that kind of asks these different questions.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of
planner. Yeah.
So the idea is the more you know your target audience, the easier it will be for you to connect and sell as much questions that I have for free. I have 50 plus questions that you kind of need to know to kind of get to know your target audience better. But I feel those things is gets them to purchase or book a service like yours right now. What prevents them from purchasing or booking a service like yours right now? Forms are their own because it's keeping or product and services on a platform that your target audience isn't even on. And then we end up being frustrated and think our marketing isn't working. But the thing is, you have to position where your target audience is. Habits, are they readers? Are they more likely to watch videos? Do they like to browse? And so that will kind of help you with your content as well. So for wedding planners, it's visual. It's all visual. Mm-hmm. So they may be on Pinterest, looking on Pinterest to find wedding ideas because it's all visual and it's quick.
Yeah.
And very attractive photos because you want to the reason why that is important, you kind of want to give them a taste of what to expect. You want to pull them into your experience. So those are some of the questions you want to ask from a marketing perspective. But I do have more in that free ebook as well.
So can you just tell us be totally true, authentic, and real, what are the pros of Wix and the cons of Wix? Like, what do you just absolutely love, and what do you kind of wish they would fix?
Got it. So one of the top things that I love about Wix is, of course, the drag and drop feature. If you are a graphic designer, this is like for you, because there's literally no limits. Other platforms are kind of boxy,
Mm-hmm.
and so you kind of have to stay within those confines, more flexibility. So that's number one. Support. Let's talk about support. Not all platforms offer really great support. They can be very difficult. Squares once. I will decide on that once. And they would take, it's like a process to talk to someone. But on Wix, they do have a chat or call someone, get someone on the phone, and so they'll be there to assist you with any questions that you may have. And support is key. For example, WordPress. For some hosting plans, you do have to pay for the security depending on who you're with. For example, GoDaddy may require you to purchase a security separately, while Wix, it does come with it. Fourth, I'm just going to list 5. Fourth is, of course, it has a lot of apps to integrate with it so that you can have a high functioning website. So if you're with MailChimp, Zapier, for that automation piece, it offers that integration. E-commerce, Plafking, even like traffic, because I do know that is important, knowing the analytics on your website. So Wix offers that on the back end.
Oh, nice.
So it has an all-in-one solution for you to really build. The fifth thing, of course, is the speed. One of the things that creates a high bounce rate, which means people will visit your website and then leave in frustration, is because of how slow some websites load. With Wix, I've never had having a slow website before on Wix, and so they do a fantastic job.
Wow.
With keeping the speed up to date. Yeah, I only my 3. One of them is you create a website and you have a nice idea that you no longer want to stay with Wix because it doesn't offer something that you want. You kind of transfer that template to, say, WordPress. You will have to actually rebuild it from scratch on WordPress. That's important. For others, they're okay, but that's a con. Another thing is that they don't have an unlimited plan. So they do have limits. But I think if you're just starting with a website like your wedding, what they do offer is enough. But some people want unlimited. So
host is included, right? When you say unlimited, what does that mean exactly? Or
so limited? They have like a list, maybe like bandwidth and storage and things like that. So it's not like unlimited bandwidth and unlimited storage. They do have limits, but what they do offer is usually suitable for a wedding planner or a personal brand. But if you're like a massive business, you're getting millions of visitors a month, then you may need to have a plan that has better bandwidth.
Okay.
And then the third, and the disadvantage is that you cannot interchange your templates. So if you have a template and you're like, oh, I think I'm gonna try something else, you'll have to build it from scratch. So you kind of interchange that. Yeah, but there's something new that Wix added recently. If you like something from your template, they allow you the ability to save those designs, and you can actually apply it to the new thing.
Oh, okay.
So it allows that flexibility in that way, but to totally content, it doesn't allow. But its defense, WordPress is kind of like that too, because for some templates, it doesn't translate the content, and so yeah, the few cons that Wix has.
And I know with hosting, so like, because they kind of entice you with a free site, but then to do something, you need to buy their hosting. What is that? So if you have like no budget for a website, would that be an option, or would you just say go create a Facebook business page and then wait until you can afford the hosting?
But I do think those things like the banner, the free banner and things like that does kind of lessen the credibility of it. So if you want to start with social media, you can, but that shouldn't be like a long-term strategy, because Facebook doesn't, as you see, Facebook goes down sometimes, and imagine you having your business on Facebook and not being able to operate, because that's just not a good business plan. So it's good to start by having your own is always the best solution.
Yeah. And what is it typically? Do you know what the hosting is? How much that is? Is it a year? I'm sure they charge a year.
Oh, you're not locked into a long-term plan, and you don't lose your website. You know how some plans, if you don't pay, like WordPress, you can lose your entire website if you decide. But with Wix, they brought it back to the free plan, so your website is there forever until you delete it. And so their pricing is as low as $22 or $19 per month, depending on your needs, plus depending on the needs of your business.
Just thinking about the blogging aspect of Wix, I did find it kind of difficult. Have they changed that at all? Is that at one time I needed like a separate URL. They might have changed that.
Oh yeah, definitely moved a lot. To me, the blogging now is pretty simple to edit your posts. It does also now offer the ability to SEO self. Before it didn't used to offer that option, and so Wix has really evolved.
Are you able to do your kind of SEO within the blog posts?
Yes, SEO tab now, so you can add your keyword, your keyword phrases, and things like that. And you can add alt text to your images, so they have improved a lot. And also, coupled with the SEO Wizard, you're able to really make your website fully search engine friendly.
Thank you so much for being here and kind of giving us some insight on Wix and a little bit about branding and definitely your ideal client, because that is super important.
Yeah, I could add this. There's a statement that I love is that should of course be your core, and your marketing is really to see how effective your branding is. Because marketing is just putting your product in front of people. But if your branding is done right and you can speak to your marketing efforts, will be more profitable.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, I will give everybody that link. But until next time.